We were approximately doing $300,000, maybe $400,000 run rate. We started about midway through last year. So coming in, we had what we thought to be a striving business and a growing business, but we wanted to get into a mastermind group that would help elevate us not only from where we're at to somewhere we really wanted to be, which is in the $1 million range, and realized from a lot of different people within the group that there's a lot of efficiencies that we could have improved upon, a lot of things that we could do to get to that next level.
Yeah, and I think when we started, we had an idea of what we wanted to do to grow and how that was going to look. And prior to starting, like Mike said, we were about in that $300 to $400 run rate, right? That was going to be our year. 12 months, we were going to be at about $300,000-400,000. We had hired one person right before we joined the group. We knew we had to hire, and we kind of had an idea of what the process might look like. But when we joined the group after the first meeting, there was just 3 days worth of discussion that we had to have, and we got back like, wow, we didn't even think about this, and what about this? And in talking to Andy when we did the onboarding, and kind of like he dissected our company, like, okay, where exactly are you? What exactly are you doing? What is your next step? What do you plan to be your next step? And he kind of guided us, and really after meeting everybody in the group and talking to Andy, it was like we had this idea for this company. We knew we were going to go, but it was like boom, like our eyes just completely open, and we were exposed to ideas and how we could accelerate this beyond what we really imagined we were going to be able to do in that that time frame. And we're lucky that we started this, and Justin and Andy we're definitely ahead of us, and they are ahead of us in terms of where their business development is. But we were able to talk to Andy and say, okay, so how did you go from where we are to where you are now? And he kind of laid out everything that happened kind of organically in his business. So Mike and I just said, okay, great, this is what happened, and this is some of the things you did right and some of the things you did wrong. So can we do that in a year? Because we see, we have the benefit of hindsight from him. This is everything I did. Some of it I had to learn. I didn't know what I didn't know. And we just kind of crammed it down into a year, and we were able to get from that $300 or $400 run rate to this year. As of the 1st of October, we've got 1.2 million that will close for sure, with 3 more months to go in the year. So, in all likelihood, we could get up to $1.5 million before the end of the year. It's very possible. We learned how to build a successful, profitable business that has predictable results, right? And that's really what we wanted. We could just fight away day to day in the trenches, and we could do that indefinitely, but we're building a business that we don't have to be in every single day for it to be successful. That really is the biggest difference. I don't think there's any other group out there that really focuses in that hard. I just don't. One of the best analogies Mike and I came up with for this, and I'm not a racing fan, but I understand the concept, is we're sort of drafting off of Justin and Andy, right? We're kind of behind them, and we're drafting off of them, and we're using their momentum and their experience to help us go a little faster. And I think there's people in the group that are drafting off of us. And when they maybe kind of pull out and get ahead of us, we're going to draft behind them, right? So all of us kind of drafting and following the other person, we're going much faster, right? We're just breaking down some of that wind resistance for business, and we're using each other's success to sort of propel the person behind us a little faster and farther. And we're doing that with Justin and Andy and some of the other people that are just killing it in the group. And I'm sure there's people in the group that feel that way about us. They're kind of drafting in behind us, and they slingshot ahead, we'll get right in behind them and learn from them.
If we're all pushing each other in a direction that's forward, as fast as a pace that we can do responsibly, it's to the benefit of all. So we want to be able to give good feedback to people. We want to give good advice. Here's our opinion based on our experiences, and we get that from a lot of different people, and then we can kind of get somewhat of a consensus on what makes the most sense. So I think that really helps push everyone in a positive direction. That's always the goal of this group, is to keep upgrading the level to a point where maybe it's 8-figure flipping next time.
When you start going and you're going a million miles an hour trying to build your business, you think you have all the answers of how to get somewhere, and then you get around a group of high-level, high achieving investors like this, and they go, well, actually, this isn't really where you want to be. You kind of need to go this route to get you there a little easier, a little faster. And that's been the biggest surprise for us. Every meeting, it's like, man, that is not what we thought was going to happen at this meeting. We thought we sort of knew what we needed to do. We're just going to get confirmation because we kind of had it. And in fact, it's often different, or it looks a lot different than we thought it was going to look. Our business, basically, we improved it by 4 to 5 times in terms of revenue. Really knowing who to hire and where to put them and what they should be paid and how they could be compensated, a little more creatively sometimes. those little things, that's the exponential jumps. It's not like everyone knows you maybe put up more marketing or you just, you pound the pavement a little harder.
But this is a group that's you're supposed to be beyond that level. So now we're trying to figure out how do we expand our businesses in a way to scale and make enough money that we hit that 7-figure flipping goal.
Yeah, it's true. Knowing some of those business skills that we didn't have, navigating some of those hurdles that we would have encountered, I mean, that absolutely saved us years.
Overall, I'd say we both agree it's one of the best investments we've ever made. We accelerated our business in a way that we could never have done on our own.